Hello everyone, this is Petko Alexandrov and I continue recording on the 23rd of October 2020 after we had a very impulsive movement from the Bitcoin, almost reached 13,250, a huge move that we haven't seen recently with the Bitcoin. You see that the first target was broken very aggressively, and I've mentioned that I might take the profits here, but if such a move is on the market, I would then prefer to wait for the second target of nearly 14,000, which in this case now it doesn't look like an impossible target. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit so you'll see where we are. Here is the bigger picture and you can compare this recent move that we had the last days. What a big move that is compared to all we had since August and September. Okay, so let me zoom and I will show you what was the recent setup. It was right down in here where I took the Litecoin and then the price went just upwards. If I zoom, you will see that I didn't have any entries here. For example, here I didn't have the chance to draw a counter trend line as well. In here, no failures, just a little pullback, and then price went upwards. And the first opportunity came just yesterday where we had this small lower high, a failure of the recent low. So I was right here. I saw that I can draw a counter trend line. I saw that we have a failure of the recent low, and then the price broke higher. And I have taken another piece of EOS. This is what I said that I will be looking next for my portfolio. It was about 230 euro. I just saved the euro value so you can know what that is, or it was 447 Bulgarian left. So this is the seventh piece in my portfolio. And by the way, when the price reached the first target, I checked what were the profits with the cryptos, and there were not that many, honestly, as I expected. Simply this aggressive move was mainly with the Bitcoin and not so much with the others. Of course, they gained some value. You can see the market is very positive this morning as well, but my profits were about 50, 60, 20 euro, something like that, with the different cryptocurrencies. And as you already know, I would like to see bigger profits in order to sell any of the cryptocurrencies. So definitely I will be looking for the second target. And here is the EOS, the one that I have selected to take yesterday. And let me show you actually the Litecoin, which I previously bought. I feel I bought it at a very right moment. You can see what a great move it did. It gained about 20% just since I bought it. But however, I have decided to wait for the next target of the Bitcoin, which is just below the 14,000. It looked impossible at that moment, but now one more time, it is much closer and looks really possible for me. And you can notice something here, that I have the chance now to draw another counter trend line this way, okay? Because this is still a failure of the high, and if you have missed, for example, this entry, you can take the next one when this counter trend line is broken, or we'll see if we have the chance to draw some more aggressive counter trend line. Anything like that would be even better, where we can take some cryptocurrencies on a cheaper price. So if we see a drop and then we see a failure of the recent low, these counter trend lines here would be the ideal scenario to buy at a cheaper price. However, let's see what will happen, and I will continue recording with more examples from the cryptocurrency market. Cheers!